Hello and welcome. My name is Sanket Upadhyay. You're watching me on The Federal. The show is called AI with Sanket. This is the AI of news because news in India today requires not artificial but analytical intelligence. There is a cycle which repeats itself over and over again in each examination, particularly in NEET. And that cycle is NEET, then leak, then cancellation, and then repeat. This has been happening. It has happened in 2021, 2024, and 2026. There is talk now that it happened in 2025 as well. Why is it that the National Testing Agency has failed over and over and over again, despite a number of efforts that they claim to have taken in conducting an examination? After all, the purpose of setting up a centralized body was to ensure that exams are conducted smoothly. Free and fair examinations. That is not happening. The Education Minister finally woke up from his slumber, addressed a press conference after 3 days of the exam being cancelled, and he said that the fresh date of the re-examination is the 21st of June, and starting next year, this paper will be in an online mode. Now, critics feel that online brings itself its own set of challenges, and till such time that you are not one up against the cheaters, the thugs, the paper leakers, till the time you don't plug that leak, these people, these cheats will keep on finding new and innovative ways of leaking the NEET paper because it's a high stakes examination. So what really is the solution in ensuring that this cycle breaks? We discuss. All right, joining us right now on this very significant discussion is a NEET aspirant, Shivam Tiwari. You see, you have to understand the importance of the student. Begin with the student first and then the rest of the conversation. After all, students are at the center, aspirants are at the center of it all. And we also have Mr. Keshav Agarwal, the Vice President of the Coaching Federation of India. Thank you very much. Let me begin with you, Shivam, first. A paper leak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And now an announcement that the paper will happen again. As an aspirant, as a student, I want to know your first thoughts.
So, yes, sir. After 3rd May, when I gave the exam, a sudden pressure was dropped off. I thought, okay, now the exam is over. And I was also expecting a decent score. So I thought कि चलो अब तो पेपर हो गया और कोई कॉलेज मिल जाएगा, तब घर जाएंगे, थोड़ा आराम करेंगे. और उसके बाद 1-2 दिन बाद ही र्यूमर्स आना शुरू हो गया कि पेपर लीक हो गया. तो मुझे लगा कि 24 में हुआ था, तो शायद अभी लोग ऐसे ही जस्ट फॉर अ मीम पर्पस ऐसे बोल रहे हैं कि पेपर लीक हो गया. बट फिर अभी बाहर आ गया और न्यूज़ में भी आने लग गया था कि पेपर बहुत बड़े स्केल पे लीक हो गया. तो फिर वह एक सडन ट्रॉमा टाइप हो गया कि इतनी मेहनत की 2 साल, उसके बाद फिर पेपर लीक हो गया. बट फिर भी लग रहा था कि पूरा नीट कैंसिल नहीं होगा और शायद सिर्फ सीकर और जहाँ पे मेजरली पेपर लीक की बातें हो रही थी वहाँ पर दोबारा से नीट को लिया जाएगा. पर अब न्यूज़ आ जाती है कि पूरा नीट ही वापस हो गया. तो फिर सारी बुक्स दोबारा निकाली. 2-3 दिन तो उसको थोड़ा समझने में ही लग गया कि अब क्या करना है. नीट दोबारा हो गया, वही 2 साल की पढ़ाई अब दोबारा से शुरू करनी है.
So for the benefit of our viewers in English, what Shivam is trying to say is that this is a sort of a re-traumatization that he will experience, and many students like him will experience because they had planned their life accordingly. They had studied hard, one exam happened, and then now suddenly there's news that this exam will take place again. So the whole cycle begins again, which is why, Mr. Keshav, the topic of the discussion today also is how the system is so ineffective that we are seeing a cycle playing out over and over again. NEET, leak, cancel, repeat. Do you feel that this new announcement that has been made on the 21st of June will end that cycle, or is this cycle going to continue?
See, 1st June is the reaction to this leak. It is not a long-term solution. It is something which is aimed how to get over with this present crisis, the cheat. Basically, what the students have been cheated. May 4th, as the students said, they woke up that finally this big day is getting over, just to wake up again to see no, it was a dream. There is nothing going to end. Things are going to be same. The rumors were never the rumors, they are the real truth. And someone is trying to hide behind that truth. That is what it is. Now, June 21st is a big challenge for them to at least prove that can they conduct without any leak, because the messages have started again ki paper chahiye and all that. Giro, the paper leak mafia, has again started its networking. Now this will depend on 21st whether we get through a clean paper or not. And now there are more doubts than trust. People are calling National Trust Agency, कई बच्चे कह रहे हैं नेशनल ठग एजेंसी, ठग गए, नेशनल ट्रॉमा एजेंसी. And this agency has been able to conduct chalo baki exams by and large, but not NEET. NEET is a big failure, and you need to understand the reasons. Radhakishan committee sat, it got over. Today in press conference it was discussed, all the measures are being implemented, and despite that this happened. And I don't see any measures concretely. The leak part, after printing, definitely has good contacts from where they take the pictures, make it handwritten and go about. So the story or the thing is very big, and abhi kingpin nahi mila hai. It is small soldiers which they are catching. Jo 2-3-4 mahina they will be in jail. They know not a big punishment will come out. Everybody will forget, and then again maybe sometime back things will be same. The CBT mode which they are discussing has already lot of flaws. You cannot conduct 24 lakhs in one day. You will require good 15 to 20 days. And things ahead, the net paper in 2024 was on dark web leaked. Abhi NEET page, just some time back it was leaked, a night before it was announced. SSC paper has been leaked online. The servers have been hacked. So this exam has 24 lakh students around. And you can't just go without a robust system. There are many other problems, glitches, hitch. So right now the focus is on 21st June. Yog kya pata karega is NEET leak ka rog dur. Let's all wait and watch.
I think the point that Keshav ji is trying to make is that 21st June is International Yoga Day. So will the health of this examination be as robust as what people hope to achieve after doing yoga? We also have Professor Chandra Bhushan Sharma, Educationist, Vice-Chancellor of the Vinoba Bhave University in Hazaribag. He was also the former Professor of Education and Director in the School of Education at the Indira Gandhi National Open University. Professor Sharma, I want to know your views. Do you feel that this is nothing but a deep acknowledgement of a deep rot within the National Testing Agency and a system which just refuses to be fixed? And when you reconduct the examination, you are essentially not fixing the problem, you have rescheduled the problem.
Sanket ji, I would like to go back in history. You will remember 2024, what happened. There was an inquiry and the report, and the Supreme Court had said that conduct the exam for those centers where the questions leaked. And the region was Jhajjar. Jhajjar has always been a problematic area. This region of Rajasthan, Haryana is a problematic area. In my introduction, you did not say that I was chairman of the National Institute of Open Schooling, which is the largest testing body of the nation. And I had cancelled all centers of this region as chairman of NIOS. Because in spite of all my efforts, I could not control the mafia. Why is it that the NTA doesn't know which are the problematic area of the nation? Like I will tell you, there is another region in Haryana, Mewat. Whatever you do, you cannot conduct exams. So I had shifted them to Palwal. There was a lot of hue and cry and all sorts of allegations made, but I insisted, no, I cannot hold exam in spite of all police protection and all. I cannot do it. I'm saying this to bring home the point that as chairman of the Open School of India, I knew what is the problem in Manipur, what is the problem in Haryana, what happens in Kerala. If you don't know, how would you conduct? My first observation is you have a Director General of NTA who is not an academic, who doesn't understand assessment, and you make one after the other IAS officer the chairman, the Director General of NTA, who does. You must understand it's not a bureaucratic job, it's a technical job where you need to take very swift action and also understand who will set the question paper, how will the secrecy be maintained, how many sets to be made. I'll give you another example. I was holding test for the DLED exam nationwide, and the treasury officer of Bengal distributed my question 2 days in advance because he had to go on leave, and the question leaked in Darjeeling. Now there was a hue and cry. The case went to court, and court said that why did you cancel only Bengal? Because if the question has leaked, nobody knew that the question paper in Bengal was only in Kerala. Two states had identical questions, same question paper. Rest were different sets with similar difficulty level. I knew all this because I have done assessment examination as a person of education for more than 35 years. So I knew how to manage it. The loss to NIOS was 7 crores, but that didn't matter because that was the question of reputation. Two things that I would like to say. One is, who should manage NTA? You have not been able to decide. Let me tell you, Prime Minister had said on the floor of the House, ये बाबू सब जानते हैं क्या, ये वाटर रिसोर्स मैनेज करते हैं, नेक्स्ट डे जाकर के ये एनुअल हस्बेंड्री मैनेज करते हैं, इनको सब पता है बाबू को. प्राइम मिनिस्टर नोज कि बाबू को सब पता नहीं है, एक्सपर्ट को होना चाहिए. When he created Ayush Ministry, he decided that he will have a person, medical person, Ayurvedacharya as secretary Ayush Ministry. Ayush Ministry has been working well. You have a secretary of science and technology who is not an IAS officer. Look at the performance of your science and technology ministry. I'm giving you all this evidence, Sanket ji, just to prove one point, that this body is not an academic body. This is a bureaucratic body. You'll have to take.
Okay, I get the point that you're making. Professor Sharma says that if you want competence, then domain experts must be at the helm. Otherwise, this problem will keep on persisting. That's the point that you're trying to make. Let me quickly go back to Shivam Tiwari now. Shivam, I just want to know from you, there is talk of this examination being conducted through CBT. Sorry, pardon my ignorance. I don't know whether 21st June will happen by a computer or by the same old method. But next year, for sure, the government has made it very clear that computer-based test is going to take place. So as a student, as an aspirant yourself, what are you more comfortable with? Because it's your future at stake. You would want the system to be secure.
Yeah, I'm definitely more comfortable with the CBT-based test because in NEET, the traditional OMR method is a little hard to learn as a student, because even if you solve the question and you, under the time pressure of the exam or some other reason, you mark the question wrong on the OMR, even if you knew the answer to the question, you still won't get the marks. But that won't happen in a CBT based paper, because I appeared for the JEE mains paper as well, and there, even if you mark the answer wrong in the first try, you can just switch the answers. And also the chances of the paper leak would be reduced, because a paper leak for such a national level paper is a really surprising thing to happen, because a student might hard work, study while thinking that, yeah, I'm doing my hard work, whether it's more than the students or less than the students, but that's another matter. But every student studies while thinking that, yes, the paper will be conducted with 100% fairness, and the result everyone is getting is from their hard work and not from their parents' money that they buy the paper and they secure a good rank and get the college. So yeah, the
Yeah,
CBT
Mr.
would be
Keshav.
way better than the.
Okay, now Mr. Keshav Agarwal, that is a view. In an ideal world, a computer-based test would perhaps ensure that, number one, it's easier to conduct, will ensure that there is no leak because it will be online. At least no physical form of leakage or pilferage is expected because it will be online. But there are many experts who say that this system is even more opaque and less transparent. And for a test like NEET UG, where there are 23 lakh aspirants, conducting a computer-based test will bring forward its own set of challenges. I would want to know your opinion.
See, every exam, as Professor Sharma said, you must know the nitty-gritties. Today I was on NDTV and I said the same point. You appoint someone just 1 month before with a different background. He has an AI background. Then this exam has nothing to do with AI and technology. It is more of offline exam which was compromised. Now, online exams are successful depending on the number of students you have. Here, the number of students are more, the chances of compromise are more, glitches are more. Our country still doesn't have that connectivity all over that it can be a glitch free. Then the people around, those who are taking, then the hackers outside who just hack your system. So there are a lot of things a person taking the exam as invigilator may not have even an idea that a student is just scrolling like this and the paper is being taken by someone else. And why this NEET is the leak problem. Now I'll tell you, just see some good points. They say coaching mafia, paper leak mafia, whatever. IIT exam hota hai, why don't that get leaked? वो भी तो कोचिंग माफिया या पेपर माफिया लीक कर सकता है, यूपीएससी क्यों नहीं लीक कर पाता? So you understand there is some problem here. Why it is allowed easily to be leaked? Because there is a lot of human points. अगर मैं कहूं एनटीए ठेके पे चलती है, कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल बेसिस, 12-13 लोग, टाइपिस्ट भी बाहर का, पेपर सेटर भी बाहर का, प्रिंटर भी बाहर का. तो भाई ये अंदर से बाहर पेपर जाएगा ही ना. When there are so many loopholes, then you have to travel it to entire India. अरुणाचल से लेके कहां. अब रिमोट एरियाज में जाता है, बैंक में रहता है, कहीं पर भी कुछ हो गया.
No, I get that point, but Mr. Keshav Agarwal, if it goes online, then obviously these points of these points of leakage will be plugged.
But then another points will come. The dark web, that technologically people are so advanced, they can hack your websites, they can do anything. So what foolproof is that they will not hack this?
Okay, then what can one do? You tell me what is the solution?
See, I have a foolproof solution, and that foolproof solution will close this paper leak once and for all. Just you need to
I'm all ears.
follow it. Okay. Now, this RENEET, just do one thing. 15 days, the paper setter is in big boss house. Present, no contact from outside world. उनको स्विमिंग पूल दो, सब दो, बाहर से अंदर कोई नहीं आएगा. 15 दिन पेपर वहीं बनेगा और वो अंदर बाहर कोई नहीं जाएगा. No mobile, nothing. Point 1. So there is no communication. It is a तिहाड़ जेल type. पूरा आप lavish दो, लेकिन वो बाहर नहीं निकलेगा. So on the day of the exam, students are in. Then each center under that CCTV, the printer is there. Print the papers there, and the NTA chairman mails the paper himself, DG. So the people making are still inside the prison. Nobody went out. The paper is just mailed 1 or 1.5 hours before. My students are inside the exam hall. A leak, if it happens, where it will go, who will use it, and the printouts can be taken there. Give them. Where is the leak chance? The leak chance is printing and transporting, and the people who make the paper. The moment that the paper makers cannot go out till this NEET is conducted. It's a
Sir, I present in front of you the following problems. If the question paper is released when the students reach the exam center, then you know in this country, in far-flung areas, internet is a problem. After all, how will you transfer this paper? Via the internet, no? So if that is a problem, papers will get leaked, papers will get delayed. sorry, not leaked, they will get delayed. There will be a ton of issues. Secondly, the problem is not, for instance, there was a solution that you reduce the time between the exam and the printing of the paper. So if you don't give too much time, then there will be less time to prepare on the basis of cheated material.
I don't agree. I'll tell you the problem in this. This paper had access just 2 days before. 26th ke baad, the main access was just 2 days before. You can't expect it to be transported entire. And I'll tell you today, the basic net required is just printout. Just one printout I need of that mail. It's not that student has to sit 3 hours and take online. The connectivity issue comes there. The connectivity issue will not come in this. And today technologically, there can be access to many things where you can just download. And you know, when it is under CCTV the morning, what happens is there is a hardly any chance of giving it to student, making them solve them. And main problem, you understand, the paper setter who are from outside. See the chain where the printer and the transport. So here you have minimized the paper setters, the transport. Now today there is technology. What stops them? Every government is doing. See, you tell me one government who doesn't have the online documentation and things. And today each candidate verifies these e-forms of this and fills the forms online. So today we can't talk. Then we shouldn't be conducting AI summit or talking of a technology then. That is what has to be done. And you know, the amount of money spent on transport can be spent on this. And the leak proof is the solution is right.
How about a solution of having ultra secure printers installed at each of these examination centers?
Yes. That is there. And you know, this will solve the problem to quite an extent, because what I believe, NEET is a big exam. Second suggestion which we had given before was you conduct it as prelims and mains. So prelims can be conducted offline. And then 20% students selected, because we just have the main root cause of this leak is 60,000 government seats and 24 lakh students. That is the root cause. CLAT, other exam doesn't get leaked. The problem is not there. In 8 years, you did not increase any seat. Today, make 10 lakh government seats, the problem will subside. The problem is we don't have seats, but such a big demand for this. Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Russia, n number of countries, your money is going out. Why don't you stop the money and students here itself?
Okay, lots of points that you have mentioned. Professor CB Sharma, we could not have you party to this last point that Keshav Agarwal was making on methods to ensure that there is no leak. He says that you use the internet to release this paper the moment the students reach the examination center, and technology has made us able enough for us to explore this idea. We need not go online. It can be offline, but we can use technology to release the paper at the last moment. And people who are setting these papers should be locked up in a room for 5, 6, 7 days and should only come out once the students start writing their or taking their test. Professor Sharma, how would you respond to this suggestion?
Let me make first argument that I am privy to the establishment of National Testing Agency. I was part of the ministry that time, and the NTA was established to conduct online exam, and that is why we had decided the organization will be small and of less number of people who will manage, because we had decided that it will only conduct online exams. Why did you hand it over an exam which has to be done pen and pencil? It doesn't have the whereabouts. So you need to reassess the establishment itself and then decide whether it's going to have online papers or offline. What Dr. Agarwal is saying, he is talking of reinventing the wheel. You have agencies, you have people who have done it. The CBSE has been conducting the CBSE exams and rarely has a question paper leaked. So all that he is saying, we did it in an iOS. On-demand exam, what we call is on-demand exam. We released the question paper 1 hour in advance, and we conducted at only 65 centers, and still some of the centers could not access question paper because of the reasons already mentioned. We don't have electricity at some places, the network doesn't work. So look, India will have to at some point of time convert completely to online. We are a large nation, like students appearing. We cannot do it on paper and pencil test, but you are not ready for it, you are not prepared for it. You must work on it for a year, check your system, because whatever he is saying, close the setters and paper setters for a week and all that, I quite agree. CBSE does it and its question doesn't leak. You have to look at who are the people setting question paper, and why is it 24 questions leaked, you remember? Now it comes out that this Biswal family had also got the 2025 question leaked. That means 2025 exam is also not sacrosanct. Now 2026 this happens. So what I would say is, you have people, you have system which can conduct exam, you are not serious about it. I have been mentioning, look, CBSE does it. I remember 2006, I was in Bombay conducting medical tests and the question leaked. Mr. Sayyam Bhardwaj was the controller of exam at CBSE. Within 1 week they did it and did it well. For some reason it had happened at the press that time. You have people, why do you insist on somebody who doesn't know to be there? You need to put the right people in the right place and they will conduct. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to tell these people how to set question paper and all that. IIT used to conduct exams. It never leaked. A professor of one of the IITs was selected to coordinate the IIT test, and he or she did it. The difference between IIT, JEE and NEET is that you have permitted everyone to appear without any age limit and without any number of attempts one can take. That the coaching center in charge, who is about 45 years, has also filled up the form with all the students he or she is teaching. So he is also sitting with the students writing the exam because there is no upper age limit. And that person is there to solve and then help his students copy it. It is on paper. I'm not saying something which is confidential or secret. Now, why do you have no upper age limit? If a person at 52 can appear at the medical test, is selected, goes to a medical college, at what age would he or would she will become a doctor? Why do you have this? And in IIT, you have 2-stage tests. In medical, you have only 1-stage test. Why don't you have 2-stage? First is a screening, let only those appear, limit the number of chances, make the higher age limit for exam, and then select. I think we have not really worked on it, Sanket. If you have a committee of experts who can just look into the whole thing,
I'll tell you, Professor Sharma, this age limit will go against the basic doctrine of it's never too late to learn. For instance, the various stories where at the age of 90, some people get their 12th degree or their 10th degree. I think that must be the rationale, but of course.
No, you can take a 12th
leaks have to be checked.
You can take a graduation degree. You can do a PhD, but not a doctor, not an engineer. You have to. Why don't you make the upper age limit open for IS exams? Why do you have an upper age limit for IS then? Make it also open. Let anybody at 60 appear for a IS exam. Even those who are beyond 60, I want to test myself at 65 whether I am good for IS exam or not. Let me appear as well. No, that argument doesn't work. 12th,
IIT has
fine.
only 2.
Anybody
IIT
who could get a chance can appear for 12th, but not for medical test.
Okay,
Not
so
for
I think what Professor Sharma, what you are saying is, number one, there should be a limit on the number of attempts, and number two, there should be an age limit. Everyone cannot appear for these exams, so you reduce the number of aspirants, and then you conduct this and ensure that there are no leaks. And then eventually look at effective ways of conducting it online. These are the 3 points that I've been able to distill from what you're saying. Quite cogent arguments. Let's take that to Mr. Keshav Agarwal and then to Shivam. Mr. Agarwal.
See, not the age limit. IIT Advanced and JEE has 3 attempts. IIT JEE gives 2 and Advanced. Right after 12th, the first attempt, and then you can take 2 more consecutively and you're over. So right after 12th, take it, at the most give them 4 attempts. So that is enough. If you cannot clear in 4, let others come in, don't waste resources. That has to be there. And today you can introduce other aspects like executive MBA extra is there. So that is another aspect, but doctor is a very technical field. So we don't go into it. Second, see, CBSE exam got leaked in 2018 very rampantly. And today CBSE has done a blunder, which I'll be discussing in other channel. They have screwed up the results of the students by their, irrational way of thing which they did not disclose. Now, CBSE is not a high-stake exam like NEET. In 2024, CGI Chandra mentions in quote, Mr. Tushar Mehta, this is not a small amount. Just see the file. 75 lakh a parent has paid to a fraudster for the NEET paper, and nobody will pay this much for just 1 hour before when it was told it just happened in the morning. He said 75 lakhs nobody will pay. Medical private seats are for 1 crore. Then why the parent gets into it कि भाई 1 करोड़ प्राइवेट जाएंगे, 5 लाख 10 लाख 30 में पेपर मिल रहा है तो किसी तरह अंदर चले जाओ, गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज मिल जाएगी. The solution is to increase the number of seats. So demand supply ratio goes here out. Second, like Dr. Sharma said, bring in people who know the know-how of this in and out, and everything is doable then. And if you can conduct Bengal elections like that, why you did not convert Sikar, Nasik, Latur after knowing into this and leave your agents? 2024 se CBI is there. Why did you allow them to go free, scot-free and do these things? You knew this were the epicenters last time also. You could have caught them. When did you get to know? Somebody mails you. You are not even aware after 3 days. What is this investigation or information system where you are not even aware thing is being openly done? So NEET exam remains a very high stake exam in India, and that is the reason the leak is happening. Engineering, there is NIT so many. We don't have so many government medical colleges, and aspirants have doubled.
I think I get the point. What you are basically asking for is delimitation in NEET seats. So if the government wants to push for more parliamentary constituencies to accommodate for the growing aspirations of this country, then increase the number of seats in medical also, have a delimitation exercise here also. And you suggested that if there are hubs that are problematic, hypersensitive, as they're called in election commission parlance, then those hypersensitive areas require hypersensitive solutions. Push in your forces. If you can put 2.5 lakh central paramilitary forces in Bengal, surely they can be used to conduct. Let's set an example. Shivam, I'm sure that I'm going to give you the last word, Shivam. What are the thoughts coming to your mind? You've heard the experts here. They've given some really, really good points and arguments. What is on your mind right now? Do you think that these things will be able to inspire you and bring in that sense of confidence in an exam like NEET?
Yes, if all of the points said by both of these personalities will be considered by the NTA, then of course it will give a confidence boost to the aspirants, because now at least I will know that the exam I'm giving is 100% honest and faithful, and the result everyone will get is a result of their own hard work and not the money spent. And yeah, the age limit and the number of attempts and the number of seats, yeah, all of these would help to cope up with the mental pressure right now.
All right. All the best for the 21st of June. Let's just hope that this exam goes well. And let's hope it does not get leaked, because this cycle has to be broken of NEET, leak, cancel, and then repeat. Thank you very much, Professor C.B. Sharma, Keshav Agarwal, as well as Shivam Tiwari, for joining us on this program.